Every day, thousands of Comcast engineers and technologists, like Kunle, put people at the heart of everything they create.
In the average household, there are dozens of connected devices. Here in the Comcast family, we're building an integrated in-home Wi-Fi solution for millions of families like my own. It brings people together in meaningful ways.
Kunle and his team are building a Wi-Fi experience that connects 1 billion devices every year. Learn more about how Comcast is redefining the future of connectivity at comcastcorporation.com/Wi-Fi.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Getaway Day, Friday, January 31st, 2025. Born on this date in 1902, stage and film actress Tallulah Bankhead of Huntsville and Jasper. Today, we have a fraud bust, a Montgomery hospital in financial trouble, a big award for a teacher, and the Alabama News Quiz. I'm Mike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama. Sometimes convicted criminals are released from prison, fall into old habits, and end up right back in the same business that got them in trouble in the first place. And sometimes the hustle doesn't even stop during the prison sentence. Adrian Lacey of Sims has been sentenced to 186 months in federal prison for wire fraud, conspiring to commit wire fraud, aggravated identity theft, and money laundering, while in prison on a previous fraud conviction. Folks, he was convicted of the more recent crime the very month he was due to be released from prison for the old crime. Now, in this most recent case, inmate Lacey developed a scheme to use stolen identities to apply for economic injury disaster loans that were intended to be used as relief for small businesses affected by COVID-19. He and co-conspirators received $379,000 they have now been ordered to give up. Well, another hospital in Alabama is in trouble. This one not a rural area hospital, but one in the state's capital city. AL.com's Mike Kaysen reports that leaders at Jackson Hospital and Clinic in Montgomery say it might close if the city doesn't come through with a $20.5 million debt guarantee. Interim CEO Ron Dreskin said the hospital has a financing plan with bondholders so that it can stay open while it makes operational changes. He said it doesn't need funding from the city, just a guarantee on the loan. The hospital defaulted on about $60 million in bonds last year. Besides the patient health issues that the area would face if Montgomery lost one of its 3 hospitals, there also are about 2,100 people who are employed by Jackson Hospital and Clinic. Well, a 5th grade teacher in Mobile won a Milken Educator Award and a handsome check this week, reports AL.com's Brianna Atkins. Mary Travis is a 5th grade math and science teacher at Gilliard Elementary School. The Milken Awards, which are big deals, by the way, in the education field, pointed to her classroom instruction, use of technology, and creative assignments in giving her the honor. A $25,000 check spoke pretty well, too. Now, in addition to her classroom duties, Travis coaches the math team, supervises student teachers, and mentors other educators. Hey, let's take a quick break. Then we're going to review some news with our quiz. Y'all stay with us. Hello, my fellow Alabamians. I want to take a quick break to talk about something that I know y'all are into because you listen to this podcast: the role of news in your daily routine. Well, starting off the day informed is a long-held practice that started with newspapers and coffee and has evolved to podcasts like this one and driving to work. But if you miss the feeling of sitting down with in-depth local reporting, consider subscribing to the Huntsville Times, Birmingham News, or Mobile Press Register digital editions. By subscribing, you'll get a new daily digital edition in an email link, or you can use an app to download the new edition every day on your smartphone or tablet. You also get exclusive access to stories written for our subscribers. Down in Alabama, listeners Get your first month free by going to al.com/digital subscription/exclusive and enter the promo code DIA24, down in Alabama 24. You get that. It's just $10 a month after that to support the reporting that changes laws and lives in our state. Thank you for your support. And now back to the podcast. Hey, thanks for staying with us, everybody. This week, we're going to bring back the Alabama News Quiz so we can review some of what's been going on over the past couple of weeks. I know a lot of folks with the MLK holiday and snow days, we've kind of been coming and going, so I think it's a good time to revisit a handful of stories. And we're going to bring in someone who made the fatal error of suggesting she come in for the quiz last time she was on the show. I don't know if she really wanted to, but I wasn't going to let it go. So we have in the virtual studio, Director of Audience for Alabama Media Group, Katie Brumbelow. Welcome to the studio, Katie.
Hey, glad to be back.
Now, we spoke a couple weeks ago about mostly about social media, but about audience and engagement and that sort of thing. Since then, we've had a little weather. Now, where exactly do you live in Alabama, and did you get any snow?
Yeah, we're outside of Opelika, Auburn area, and we probably got I was like maybe 2 inches, 3 inches of snow, a little bit more in some areas, and it was a whole snow week. School was out Monday for Martin Luther King holiday, right? And then Tuesday was a snow day, and then Wednesday was a snow day. Thursday was the whole week just ended up being a snow day because if after the snow it was all ice. But we had a great time. Our 4-year-old got to build snowmen and well, snow Elsas, I guess I should say, so snow ladies. With the neighborhood kids, it was great. There were some neighborhood kids I hadn't seen yet who came out, so it was really it was a trip. We loved it.
Oh, good. So you got to enjoy that. But where are you in life with snow? I mean, obviously because of the youngins, it's a fun deal right now. But do you just love it? Or are you sitting on the edge of your chair when it's in the forecast?
You know, having lived in Iowa for like a little over 6 years, I've got to where I love the snow. It's really great. I love the first snow. I love it's still magical. Like my heart bubbles up, like it just gets really excited. I think that probably is because when I was a little girl living in the South, snow was only magical. Like it came maybe, every 5 years if you got lucky. So, but living in Iowa, I got to just be buried in it, shoveled it. Fortunately, met my now husband, who was the future shoveler of snow, so I didn't have to do it my own anymore. But so I love it. I love that when it's just enough for it to be magical, or just to visit. I would love to visit snow, and I love seeing snow, the enjoyment of snow through my daughter's eyes. But yeah, I don't want to live in it. Okay, I'm good not living in it.
Snow each time is kind of like when I got my first truck, I think. In the beginning, right off the bat, I'm strutting around like I'm something else. This is I live in the snow, and then after a while, it just starts looking dirty, and I got to go outside and say, "Are you still here?" And 600 barrels of oil and 0 dates later, I'm ready to move on to something else. And that's how I get in the wintertime, looking forward to spring, I think.
It's nice that it melts.
Now, when you said, "Hey, I'll come back and take the quiz sometime," did you want to, or did I make you come back and do this?
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I love the quiz. I don't know how well I'll do, but I'm into it. I like the challenge.
Good. Well, it may or may not be a challenging week because, like I said, everything's kind of been coming and going for the past couple of weeks. Question number 1. Several days after a rare snowstorm hit coastal Alabama, we found out that large numbers of this species did not survive the freezing temperatures. Was it A, mourning dove, B, manatees, C, white mullet, Or D, winter tourists who packed only Bermuda shorts and Salt Life tank tops?
I would like for it to be D, but it's C. It's the mullet.
Wait, now you don't want them to not survive the freezing temperatures.
Well, that's true. I don't want that. I don't want that. But it was funny. I just liked it. It's fun.
Yeah. You get the tourist jokes because you lived on the coast for a while.
Yeah, I get the mullet. I get the mullet too. Like first time I ever knew mullet was moving down to Pensacola. It was on all the menus at the tried and true restaurants. So
fried or smoked, those are the two ways to go.
It was fried. Yeah, fried mullet.
You're 1 for 1 so far. Moving on to number 2. What is currently, great. This is an economics question. I love these. We should do an all economics quiz, I can get into that. What's currently pushing egg prices higher? Is it A, a bird flu outbreak, B, across the board inflation, C, tariffs on egg cartons, or D, Wall Street greed?
I'm sure a little Wall Street greed goes into it, but it's the bird flu.
We can blame anything on Wall Street greed. You're 2 for 2. We're off to a good start. We're going to go right into number 3. A brick and mortar store for this iconic brand is coming to Huntsville. Is it A, Star Wars, B, Tinker Toy, C, Lego, or D, Mace pepper spray?
Ooh, it's Lego. I was kind of surprised it was the only Lego store in Alabama. Well, the previous one, but I was just, Alabama, I guess it's finally getting its Lego store.
I'm impressed that they're making a go of it with the brick and mortar on something that's so specific in this day and age of, malls, kind of mall type stores closing up shop.
They're real cool. I went to the one up in New York City when I visited a handful of years ago. It's been a while, but it was neat. It was really cool.
Yeah, people are into Legos. I was a Tinker Toy kid. That's how that snuck into the quiz. Number 4. I better hurry if I'm going to stump you. Maybe this will. This is a little more obscure, I guess. We'll see. Country singer Melba Montgomery, who grew up in Florence, passed away this month at 86 years old. Now, one of her enduring footprints on her genre was her duets with this legend early in his career, before he became famous for duets with another artist. Was it A, George Jones, B, Conway Twitty, C, Johnny Cash, or D, fellow Alabamian George Goober Lindsay?
It was George Jones.
George Jones and Melba Montgomery. Now, did you get that from the news this week, or are you familiar with George Jones and Melba Montgomery duets?
I listened to Down in Alabama, and that's where I learned it. But but I'm a little bit familiar with George Jones. This is my little George Jones thing is growing up. I thought it was really cool because my mom, at the hospital she worked at, told me that she worked with one of his daughters and that his daughters were twins and that he was a twin. And I didn't know. I mean, as a child, I didn't know that. And I just thought I thought it was so cool, little 8-year-old me.
That is cool. I think any George Jones news or tidbit is cool, I mean, well, now that we're removed from it anyway. I know he had some rough and rowdy days. Well, you're down to number 5. I almost wish I could look ahead and know if somebody's going to get 4 in a row, because I know whether to really push the gas on number 5 or not. Let's see. This is another snow related question. I can't get over it for some reason. During the snowy day in Dothan, just another snowy day in Dothan, emergency crews responded to this event in the Krispy Kreme parking lot. Was it A, a stranded line of cars in the drive-thru, B, the birth of a child, C, a shorted out hot light engulfed in flames, Or D, a snowball fight that turned deadly?
That was the birth of a baby.
You got them all.
All right. I love that story. I thought it was sweet. Our a lot of folks, it got a lot of comments and congratulations on our social, on like our Facebook page and other social pages. Is a sweet story.
Oh yeah, bringing a youngin into the world and combine that with the hot glazed of Krispy Kreme donut in Dothan.
Well, now they
Uh,
get like a year's worth of free donuts. That's pretty
that's right.
solid.
That's right. A free year's worth of donuts, and which was the first thing, by the way, my wife said when when I kind of, back in the newspaper days, like they're all gone, but uh, we had something we would call a "Hey Martha," and that would be like it's such a dated term, but it would be like something maybe not vital, but you see in the newspaper, and the old man kind of sets it down on the breakfast table, and he's got to tell somebody, so, "Hey Martha," and tells her. It
Mhm.
was a "Hey Martha." So I told her, and the first thing she asked was, "Do they get free donuts?" So we know where we're at.
Absolutely.
And I've
Do I
I've
get
sup-
free donuts?
for when
Do
you
I
know
win a free
what,
donut?
we we need to bring Krispy Kreme in as a sponsor, and you should, but unfortunately, we have a low budget here on down in Alabama. I have financially supported that Krispy Kreme, so next time you're going through Dothan, let me know. I'll hook you up. Thanks so much, Katie, for coming on and taking the quiz. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And thanks to everybody out there for listening to us. Now, if anyone's interested in coming on and taking this quiz, send me an email to imorgan@al.com with quiz in the subject line. Otherwise, y'all just have a good weekend, and we'll see you back here about Monday. Until then, we're open 24 hours a day and 7 days a week on the World Wide Web at al.com.